Malawi Brief.
Komiti ya kunyumba ya malamulo ya park yayitanisa akuluakulu aku Mulanje District Council kuti athe kupanga kauniuni powafunsa mafunso awiri atatu pa zam'mene amagwirira ntchito yawo kumeneko. Park yakhala ikuyitana makampani aboma osiyanasiyana wiki imeneyi kuti athe kulongosola zam'mene akumagwirira ntchito zawo. Ndelero anayitana Mulanje District Council. Takhalani pomwepa kuti mumve zonse.
From Katabe, I want to draw the attention of the National Local Government Finance Committee seated here and the office of the President and Cabinet to the fact that I was listening to the radio one day that in Mulanje you have fee-paying services at the main district hospital. The same is true for my council at Nkatabe. They also have fee-paying services. But the issue there is that when you go to the hospital, there's no drugs and medicines. The locals are being told to go and buy the medication. And the fees being charged at the fee-paying services within the hospital, which is supposed to be free, is quite on the very high side that the locals cannot afford. The question I want to ask National Local Finance Committee, or OPC, is that, is it possible, sir, that you can organize a learning visit among DHOs from Katabe? They can come and learn from Mulanje, and from Salima, learn from Mulanje, so that they are able to compare notes and exchange ideas. Thank you, Chair.
Controlling officer, I think that is something for National Local Governing Council. So we'll handle that one at a later stage because we want to give you a chance to focus on the audit queries and the plans that you have about the oversight, which has been highlighted by Nkatabe Central. It is very, very important. But when we're done with these engagements, we will be engaging the Chief Secretary as well as the National Local Government Cars, National Local Government Finance. So we'll handle that one as ably guided by Nkatabe Central because it's an issue that people are having to pay more within the same institution, when in actual sense we can do better. So we'll handle that one from this side. Other members, anyone with a different one? Because he has talked of so many things. You're looking at water challenges, you're looking at quality of infrastructure. He has touched on value addition, being a district which is producing a lot of fruits. Any guidance? What's the relationship between you and the Ministry of Tourism? Because there was a project which was abandoned about the cable cars from Mulanje Mountain landing somewhere within the district. This is something that elsewhere is being pursued and is generating revenue. Do you have any plans to roll out the cable cars project in Mulanje? I'm told there are cables people do use, but we haven't gotten to that level. Controlling officer?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I should agree with you, Honorable Chairperson, that Mulanje is one of the districts with lots of tourism potential. We boast of the beautiful Mulanje Mountain, which, by the way, has also been declared World Heritage Site, as well as World Biosphere Site. And therefore it calls for a lot of interventions really to boost its tourism potential. And I want also to agree with you, Chair, that your perception is light, that there were indeed plans to introduce a cable from Mulanje Mountain down there so that we can even boost tourism in the district. I would also want to just share with you, Chair, that if you look at our district development plan, it's one of the flagship projects that is also mentioned that we want to do that one. As a council, because of limited resources, it's a costly project, it involves a lot of money. That's why we thought we should partner with Minister of Tourism to possibly assist us with identifying a potential investor. Of course, we have other organizations who have also got interest. We have Mulanje Mountain Conservation Trust, which has also got a vested interest in the project. So that project, Honorable Chairperson, is still alive. We are still engaging with the Department of Tourism and to see how we can together implement it. At one point, we even tried to include it under 10% CDF to see how best it can be taken care of, but it's costly, Honorable Chairperson. So the engagement with other stakeholders there, we are planning as a council one of these days to have a stakeholders meeting on the Mulanje Mountain. So we're thinking we can bring in all the players like the tourism, potential investors, and so that we can have a lengthy discussion and a comprehensive discussion on that one. So I take this as also an encouragement, Honorable Chairperson, that we should really take this project on. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much for that response, Controlling Officer. As I raised it because a lot of councils are struggling when it comes to revenue collection, yet you have an opportunity that can be of great use. I see a hand from Katabe Central. Katabe Central.
Thank you once again, Honorable Chairperson. First, I would like to place on record to thank the DC for assembling a high-level, high-power delegation, including the Council Chairperson and the Council Head of Finance, the Councillor Chair for Finance Section. But the question I want to ask this time, Chair, is about foreigners coming in. You know, Mulanje is a border district, just like in Katabe. We are also in the border, same like Karonga. So the question I want to ask is, in terms of the fee-paying services at the main hospital, how does the council differentiate between the locals and the foreigners coming in from, say, Mozambique? Thank you, Chair.
Controlling Officer, kindly take that one.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and I'd also to thank the Honorable Member for Katabe Central for that concern has raised. Very valid one, Honorable Member, and I want to thank you for raising that one. I would also have, Honorable Chair, I would have highlighted that when I was giving a profile for Mulanje. I missed it, that one of the challenges besetting the delivery of health services in the district is the influx of people from Mozambique. As you know, our health delivery systems are very different. I think in their country, they have to pay, and usually they have to travel long distance to access medical support. And therefore, the only option at their disposal is to move into Malawi, especially the border health facilities, Muloza and others, to access health services which are for free in Mulanje. That's a big problem. Let me inform you, Honorable Chairperson, that we currently have struggled with that issue for quite some time. And even when we are budgeting, we know we budget, as you know, we're not doing our budget as a council, we use the population for Mulanje. But then we know that we're not budgeting for people of Mulanje, we're also budgeting for the people of Mozambique. So it has been a problem and has been highlighted several times, even when we're lighting our budgets, the synopsis, we include that in the report, that our health system is choked by people from Mozambique trying to access health services in Mulanje. So we don't have means of identification. What we have done currently is that we have initiated dialogue with Mozambican authorities. As District Commissioner, I'm able to engage with this Commissioner for Mozambique, nearest district, Mulanje, District Administrator, and we have established a working relationship. They're able to visit us. Recently, the security team delegation from Mulanje province was in our district to discuss cross-border security, and we were also there last week, and they're also coming. And one of the issues that we want to discuss is the issue of the same issue that we are raising, that we have challenges with people from Mozambique coming in to access our medical services. Unfortunately, our system does not provide for identification at the point of accessing medical services. So it's a challenge that we are struggling with, honestly, and we have on a number of occasions even presented it when we were presenting our budgets to National Finance Committee, that as a border district we are really struggling with this one. Unfortunately, we don't have at the moment, I must admit, unless we are advised, a sure way of ensuring that we can block those people from Mozambique from accessing our medical services. I think it touches also on foreign relations, and therefore as a council, we cannot just jump and start blocking them. But Honorable Chair, we hope in the future we'll be advised on how to handle these issues as a border district. But it's a struggle. Thank you, Honorable Chair, for the time.
Thank you so much, Controlling Officer. Indeed, it is a challenge. We've also taken note as Public Accounts Committee, and we will escalate this when we're having an interface with Chief Secretary. We will have no option but to raise this challenge, because it has diplomatic connotations. We may not come out very clear because it ends up straining some of the diplomatic relations which are there. But we need to handle this in a sober way, while protecting the integrity of the nation and protecting Malawians who are paying tax to access such kind of drugs. So we'll escalate this one. Honourable members, allow me to ask Zomba Msondole to take the first audit query. Zomba Msondole.
Thank you, Chair, for according Zomba Sondole to handle the first audit query. The first audit query is about failure to update fixed assets register. Could the controlling officer explain why the council did not update the fixed assets register to include motorcycles, vehicles, and buildings, and indicate whether the register has now been updated? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Zomba Msondole, for raising that issue, failure to update fixed asset register. Controlling Officer, kindly respond to Zomba Msondole's question. Over to you.
Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, Mulanje District Council acknowledges the observation by the Auditor General that some fixed assets were not recorded in the Council's fixed asset register at the time of the audit. The Council recognizes the risks associated with maintaining some assets outside the official assets register, including weak asset control, possible misappropriation, and challenges in monitoring and safeguarding public property. Honorable Chairperson, the situation occurred mainly due to lack of proper coordination in asset recording processes within the Council. At the time, the Council did not have a dedicated office responsible for maintaining and updating the fixed assets register. As a result, some assets, particularly motor vehicles and motorcycles, donated directly to the Council sectors by line ministries and development partners, were not promptly communicated for recording, leading to their omission in the register. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, to address this weakness, the Council has now designated the Office of the Principal Systems Analyst as the central office responsible for recording and maintaining the fixed asset register. I refer you to the attached letter assigning the Principal Systems Analyst the responsibility for coordinating the recording of fixed assets in Appendix 1. In addition, desk officers have been assigned in all sectors and departments to ensure that any acquisition of assets through any means, whether through procurement, transfers from line ministries, or donations from development partners, is promptly reported to the responsible office for recording. The Council is also considering the digitization of its assets management system in order to strengthen asset tracking, improve record accuracy, and prevent recurrence of similar issues in the future. Furthermore, Honorable Chairperson, the list of assets which were not recorded in the assets register includes some motor vehicles and motorcycles which broke down a long time ago and are currently and learners beyond economical repair. The Council is planning, therefore, to dispose of such assets in accordance with applicable government asset disposal procedures so that the proceeds can be realized can be used towards acquiring functional replacement assets. Honorable Chairperson, the Council has since updated the fixed asset register and recorded all the assets that were previously omitted. However, the assets have been recorded without value, as you have noticed, as the Council is currently making arrangements to have them professionally valued so that they can be appropriately recognized in subsequent financial statements. The updated asset register was presented to the Auditor General for review and verification. Reference can be made to Appendix 2, Honorable Chairperson, which contains the updated fixed asset register extract showing the assets in question have now been duly recorded. Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Members.
Honorable Chairperson, for recognizing the great people of Chitipa to contribute on this first question. Honorable Chairperson, if you see the Appendix 1, the principal officer was only appointed on 2025. And again, the actions being taken, they have taken some actions, yes, which is very commendable, but as they are saying that they have not valued it, I would want to push them because they relax a lot. So I would want to propose for further reporting so that they do the needful. If their actions were prompt, they were taking the audit query seriously, I would give the benefit of doubt that they would do the valuing, but with that, I propose for further reporting. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Controlling Officer, there's a proposal here for further reporting because of the nature you conducted yourself. If you're looking at this audit query, you got the report around December 2023. But when you look at the letter that you are giving as reference, as in Appendix 1, dated 21st January 2025, something that you were given a recommendation in December 2023, you only assigned someone to be recording these assets in January 2025. The whole for 2024 came to an end without any action. Now, 1 year, 2 months down the line, you're taking action. What motivated this delay?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Let me agree with the observation made by Honorable Member for Chitipa Central that on the surface it may appear that there was a laxity. I agree with you. Chair, I can't say more other than, acknowledging that challenge and pledging that we will do more as we go back. But we thought that was the first step that we had to take to rectify the problem. In the past, the law had no specific office, so we were looking at a very strategic office within the council which would take it up. So we settled for the Management Information Systems Officer, although a bit late. So I agree with the observation, and I pledge that we really need to have done more, and we'll do more as we go back. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, Controlling Officer. I see Katabe Central.
Thank you, Chair. I am rising to second the proposal for the report because, Honorable Chair, I'm looking at this problem being in all the councils, non-adherence to procedures and in an registration of assets in councils. If you go to any council, they will not have title deeds for their properties in the council. For example, the schools, the clinics, the houses, no documents, no papers. the vehicles, no registration books. So I'm looking at this problem has been common in all the councils. If you talk of any council, ask them for title deeds for the properties they are owning. They will not have, Honorable Chair. So I second the proposal for further reporting, and I would like the government, OPC, and the Auditor General to take action, Honorable Chair. And I'm glad that the council chair is also here. Lack of proper documentation for assets in all the councils. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Nkatabe Central, for seconding a proposal for further reporting, which was made by Chitipa Central Controlling Officer. What this means, the audit query still starts because you have outstanding issues which have not been resolved. Even when you're looking at valuation of assets, it's not even complete. To that extent, we can't retire this audit query. We'll give you space to ensure that these gaps, or the gap, are addressed. How soon do you think you can close this?
Thank you, Honorable Chair, for that advice and for the direction. I just want to bring your attention that the valuation of assets, because we cannot do it immediately because issues of it requires a lot of resources. And what we've done is we've factored it in our budget for 2026, 2027. Therefore, I would do kindly request to the Honorable Chairperson that if we can be given a month from now, so that at least we can go back when the funding has started trickling in, we'll take it as a priority. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
How sure are you that the funding will come, and as soon as the funding is available, within a month, you're going to dispose of this thing? This controlling officer, I want to bring to your attention that this discussion is live on TV, Parliament TV. So let's make commitments which are serious, even if it was in camera. We are representing Malawians, and we need serious responses and clear timelines. Can you come out clear? When do you think we can resolve this?
Once again, thank you, Chairperson, for that guidance. Thank you so much. We are thinking about 6 months from now, so that we are assured of availability of funding, and also that we take a thorough process, if that is agreeable. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
The funding trickles in each and every month, but we'll give you, if we give you 6 months from now, we're talking of 9 months into a financial year. We only have 3 months to end this financial year. Controlling officer, let's talk of 3 months, so that we're halfway. In the event that you have challenges in the mid-year budget review session, you can factor in some of these things. These things were never there. But if you give it 6 months, it will be beyond the time we can fix this thing. It will end up escalating into the other financial year. So let's stick to 3 months, not 6 months, as per your guidance. 1 month, in my view, was a small. It was a shorter period, but 3 months should be realistic for everyone. So let's close this. I say hand from Nkatabe Central, but this audit query has been retired because so we can't open it. That will be proceeding and procedural. Mulanje, no, I think Mulanje must not be given space since it's conflicted. There's an appearance of controlling officer from Mulanje. I was about to recognize Mulanje South, but for now, wait. Salima Central. Salima Central, can you take the second audit query?
Chairperson, thank you so much for recognizing the people of Salima Central to take the second query. Payment of VAT to unregistered suppliers, 32,341,587 kwacha, 0 tambala. Could the controlling officer explain to the committee why the council made the payments amounting to the mentioned figure above? That included value-added tax to suppliers who were not registered for VAT with the Malawi Revenue Authority, contrary to Section 25(1) of the Value-Added Tax Act 23 of 2014, which requires that only registered taxable persons issue an electronic fiscal device, EFD, generated tax invoice. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Salima Central, Controlling Officer. Kindly take the question from Salima Central. Over to you.
Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, I wish to acknowledge the observation of the Auditor General that payments amounting to 32,341,587 tambala were processed inclusive of VAT to contractors and suppliers who in turn did not provide EFD receipts, tax invoices, or evidence of VAT registration at the time of payment. This was indeed an anomaly on the part of the Council, as the responsible officers did not demand proof of VAT registration at the time of contracting the required EFD receipts or tax invoices before processing and issuing out the checks. Honorable Chairperson, the amount in question mainly relates to payments made to contractors and a few suppliers of building materials during implementation of the Constituency Development Fund projects within the district during the financial year under review. Upon reviewing the matter, the Council established that most of the contractors and suppliers engaged were local contractors and suppliers who were then not registered for VAT with the Malawi Revenue Authority, despite including VAT on their invoices. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, in order to ensure accountability for the funds paid out as VAT, the Council wrote the concerned contractors and suppliers in February 2026, requesting them to provide evidence that the VAT amounts they are collected from the Council were remitted to MRA. In cases where such evidence cannot be provided, the contractors and suppliers were requested to refund their VAT amounts to the Council. The Council will proceed to recover the funds from contractors and suppliers who failed to produce evidence of remittance to MRA or who did not voluntarily refund the amount in question, as the Council has noted that some of the contractors involved continue to have business with the Council even this date. This Honorable Chairperson presents an opportunity to facilitate recovery of the VAT amounts that were wrongly paid through them, by effecting deductions from subsequent payments due to them for current projects which they are implementing. Honorable Chairperson, I wish to report that we have already made recoveries amounting to 3,073,825 tambala from 2 contractors on the list. Honorable Chairperson, the Council is aware that recovering the VAT amounts wrongly paid to some of the contractors and suppliers may be challenging, as some of them may avoid doing business with the Council for fear of having such amount deducted from their subsequent payments. In light of this, the Council will continue to engage the Malawi Revenue Authority to enforce the collection of the VAT amounts from the concerned contractors and suppliers. Copies of some of the letters addressed to the concerned contractors, suppliers, and MRA, and current payment vouchers and their supporting documents showing the recoveries made so far were presented to the Auditor General for inspection and are attached in Appendix 3 and Appendix 4 respectively. Honorable Chairperson, to prevent recurrence of similar instances in the future, the Council has strengthened its internal controls by requiring all suppliers and contractors participating in procurement processes to submit VAT registration certificates as proof that they are authorized agents for VAT collection. Furthermore, the Council now demands EFD receipts or tax invoices before processing payments that include VAT component. Suppliers and contractors who fail to provide these documents have the VAT component excluded during payment processing. This measure ensures that only authorized suppliers and contractors collect VAT and that there is assurance that such VAT is limited to MLI through the issuance of valid FD receipts or tax invoices. I thank you, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members of the committee.
Thank you, Chairperson. In his submission, the controlling officer indicated that the contractors who were involved in this tax fraud are still having business with the council. They continue having business with the council. Now, if we are talking about disciplinary action against the staff, I wonder why the council should continue doing business with contractors who clearly perpetrated tax fraud. Because from where I'm sitting, this started with the contractor raising an invoice with VAT indicated in the invoice. And that invoice was submitted to the council. And an officer approved of this invoice and a payment was effected. So it cannot not only be the staff. There must have been collusion between the contractors and the staff, the concerned staff. So I want the controlling officer to tell this committee why the council continued having business with contractors that perpetrated tax fraud. Submit, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Lilongwe Peno, for the supplementary. I also recognize supplementary question from Blantyre Central. Blantyre Central, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just want to find out from the controlling officer the standards or the measures during this time when you are flying out the adverts. It's a government standard practice that conditions are outlined to identify qualified contractors who should be given jobs. For example, experience, are they registered with SIRA now? Are they registered with PPDA? Are they registered with Malawi Revenue Authority? I don't know for these particular jobs if these conditions were applied or they were just overlooked. I don't know in the interest of who. So I think we have a serious case and matter here. And I think before the controlling officer, I would rush to propose for further reporting this one before maybe he comes in. Honorable Chair, allow the people of Blantyre Central to submit. Thank you.
Allow the controlling officer to take those two, then we'll proceed to verdict. Controlling officer.
Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, I'd like to thank honorable member for Lilongwe Peno for raising that question, asking the council why it is still having transactions or businesses with contractors who are supposed to be blacklisted. That is very correct observation. But then what had happened, Honorable Chairperson, is that some of these contractors already had contracts landing at the time the audit was being done. And we also looked at the other side where we thought we would be able to recover the resources, hence our ability to recover 3 billion. So we did not rush to doing away with them. We thought of using that opportunity also to recover them. Moving on, Honorable Chairperson, I will give you an assurance that all those contractors will be blacklisted by the council. And Blanta Cento, where there is a concern regarding the procedure for advertisements and engagement of contractors, very correct. When we are flagging the adverts or when engaging contractors, we are supposed to provide all these documentation as evidence, and then they are picked at the evaluation on the basis of them passing all these requirements. That's why, Honorable Chairperson, I admitted from the outset that indeed there were lapses in the procurement processes of the council, which we now intend to tighten to ensure that this does not recur. Also, just to give you an assurance, Honorable Chairperson, on the very valid concern on the basis of this, which you raised, Chair, that if we are not able to handle this amount of money, what about the reform CTF, which is billions? I want to assure you, Honorable Chairperson, that we are working on putting in place several control measures, apart from also strengthening the technical capacity. As I've just brought to your attention, Honorable Chairperson, that we now have officers to fill up the gaps which were there. So, Honorable Chairperson, I submit. Thank you, Chair.